Hey everybody, it's Chainsaw Reacts. Let's talk about DC films. Let's talk about the DC Cinematic Universe, the DC Universe, the DC Extended Universe, whatever you want to call it. Whatever you want to call it, let's just talk about it. Now, I know this video's late, but I really don't give a shit, okay? So earlier this month, Warner Brothers announced we have a brand new DC president, which I don't think they've ever appointed somebody as the DC president to oversee their DC films, but now we have a guy, Walter Hamada. Now, I did a little bit of research. I looked him up. And as I can see here, he has worked on quite a bit number of films, most notably The Conjuring 1 and 2, James Wan, who's directing Aquaman, okay? And the new It film that grossed $700 million on, I think, a $35 million budget, something like that. Yeah, $700 million, big success there. He's done really well over at New Line Cinema, and Warner Brothers picked him up. So we're going to go over the films that are upcoming that have been announced officially, and then we're going to go over the kind of in development films and to see, does this make sense for this film to be made now or whatever? So we're going to get into all that. So guys, let's jump into it. Okay, so the main reason why I wanted to do this video is because after they announced Walter Hamada as the new DC president, we have now learned Shazam is coming out April 5th, 2019. Now, as we know at this point, Aquaman is the only film coming out in 2018 for the DC universe, whatever you want to call it. And I think it worked out for the best. Not for Warner Brothers, because they horribly botched Justice League. They thought Justice League would make $1 billion. It didn't happen, because we go over here. The budget for Justice League is $300 million. That doesn't include marketing. That's just the budget for shooting this damn thing. $652 million box office. Either it broke even or it lost money. If it was a profit, I'd be shocked, but it'd be very, very little. So they have to think about what they're doing. So hopefully this will be a wake-up call. Hopefully, you would think, right? So we have Aquaman 2018. I think this gives Walter Hamada, the new DC president, plenty of time to come up with a strategy to figure out what's going to happen next after 2019. Because right now, 2018, Aquaman, December 21st, 2018. Shazam, the newest thing that we found out, is April 5th, 2019. And Wonder Woman 2 at this point is November 1st, 2019. All right? So we have the next 3 films slated. Now, up here on the Wikipedia, now, this is probably incorrect, I don't know. Cyborg and Green Lantern Corps are slated for 2020. My guess is that Cyborg might be moved off for The Flash or something like that, but we'll get to all the ones in development that we have no official release date yet in a second. But I think Cyborg and Green Lantern Corps, I think they need to be made. They do. Not sure if they need to be made in 2020, but who knows. But I think so far, Aquaman, Shazam, and Wonder Woman 2, I think all of those 3 are good, and I'm hoping that they come out as is and no butchering from the studio. We'll have to see about that. Let's jump down now to in development. Now, this is where there are some films in development that make sense and some that I think don't. And I think Walter Hamada, hopefully, at Comic-Con this year, 2018, will come out and, of course, talk about Aquaman, and, of course, talk about Shazam and Wonder Woman 2, which are slated to come out this year and next year, okay? The next 3 films in this universe. I'm hoping it also comes out and gives us kind of a slate, if you will, for the next couple of years. 2019, obviously, with Wonder Woman and Shazam. 2020, 2021. I think that would give us a good indication of where he's at, because I think because Warner Brothers isn't like announcing all these DC films. It's just coming out in reports and stories that they're hiring writers to do this, they're hiring people to do this. So it's all over the place. I'm hoping Walter Hamada comes in, and I'm hoping he's already looked over all of this stuff and has went, okay, this is what will work, this won't work now, let's push this off to here, let's move this up and make this a priority. I'm hoping that's the case. Because right now, I'm gonna scroll through them. I'm gonna scroll through all of them, and then I'm gonna go back up and go through them again more in depth. But right now, in development as of right now, is Batgirl, The Batman, Black Adam, Flashpoint, Gotham City Sirens, Justice League Dark, Nightwing, Suicide Squad 2, Untitled Deathstroke film, Untitled Harley Quinn film, Untitled The Joker and Harley Quinn film, Untitled Justice League sequel, and Untitled Man of Steel sequel. Okay, so let's see which of these films I think need to be made sooner rather than later, or some to be pushed off quite a bit. Batgirl. Okay, so in order for Batgirl, I think, to work, you have to have the Batman movie, which has Matt Reeves, and Batgirl has Joss Whedon at this point. I think in order for a Batgirl film, I think, to really work, you need to have a solo Batman film, and I'm not saying you introduce Barbara in the Batman film, but I think you need to have an established Batman solo film in your universe in order for Batgirl to come along and continue that. Same thing with Nightwing, which is a little bit down the list here. If they do have a director, but Batman, I think, needs to come first. I mean, look, all the stories, all the reports at this point, if Ben Affleck is truly out, or if he's in, regardless, they need to have a Batman film coming out at some point. I'm saying 2020, I think you need to have a Batman movie coming out. That's my guess. Batman needs to come out in 2020, whether it's Ben Affleck, whether it's Jake Gyllenhaal, John Hamm, whoever the fuck it is, they need to put that out sooner rather than later, okay? And I think Batgirl, I mean, my love for Batgirl is high, but I'm saying you need to have a Batman movie first before you do a Batgirl. I think it just makes the most sense. Black Adam. Now, this has been talked about for a long time. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson has been cast as Black Adam for a very long time. I'm saying I don't think you should do a Black Adam movie. That's just me. I don't think they should do it. If you're going to do a Black Adam, introduce him in the Superman sequel, which we'll get to in a second, the very bottom of the list. Why is it the very bottom of the list? I don't know. But I'm saying Black Adam movie, I don't think it makes sense as of right now. Maybe at a later date, yes. But right now, it makes no sense. Flashpoint. Now, this has been a big debate. They've been wanting to do Flashpoint as the first Flash movie for quite some time. It's been rumored, speculated, and apparently they're working on it, and they still have no director, so who knows. My thing is, if they're sticking with Flashpoint, now when Walter Hamada comes in, new DC president, and he says yes, Flashpoint, you need to hold off the Flash movie for a couple of years. Now, the Aquaman movie needs to come out, Wonder Woman 2, a Batman solo film, a Cyborg film, and then you do Flashpoint. Now, I know that's pushing off one of the biggest characters, but if you were wanting to do Flashpoint as your first Flash movie, which is pretty crazy, I'm saying that in order for that film to really have an impact on the audience, they need to see these characters before they're altered in Flashpoint first. And I believe that was Electric Alex over at Electric Brit Smash who said that, and also Brittany over there as well, Brit Smash from Electric Brit Smash, also said the same thing. You need to have these characters who are altered within the Flashpoint storyline to be introduced or have more development in the universe before you make changes and do the timeline shift, right? That makes sense. So if they wanted to decide, let's do something different, let's do another story entirely for the Flash movie, then, okay, go ahead and actually make that sooner rather than later. But if you're sticking with Flashpoint, hold it off for quite some time. I'm sorry, but in order for that film to truly make an impact in your universe, you need to hold it off for a bit, before more movies come out. Gotham City Sirens. I think this is half and half. Either it's going to be a really smart idea because you're introducing Poison Ivy and Catwoman, but at the same time, it can be seen as another Suicide Squad attempt where you're announcing a bunch of characters, introducing a bunch of characters, because apparently Gotham City Sirens was kind of seen as a film to introduce a bunch of female villains and female heroes within this movie, like Black Canary, Batgirl, and like I was saying, Poison Ivy and Catwoman. So I don't know. I don't know if this is going to happen, because the fact that we also have a Harley Quinn solo movie, Suicide Squad 2 in development, and a Joker and Harley Quinn film, I just don't know if Gotham City Sirens makes sense at this point, but who am I to say? Now, this is one I think they need to hold off for quite some time. Justice League Dark. I understand that DC wants to do it. DC have been wanting to do a Justice League Dark for a long time. DC have tried to do it. Warner Brothers is trying to get this thing off the ground for a long time. It's never really worked. Justice League Dark does not need to happen until phase 2, like way off. I know, comparing DC to Marvel, but DC are trying to catch up. They need to slow down, and Justice League Dark needs to be held off until you do a bunch of other films first, because Justice League Dark opens up a huge side of the DC universe that will change everything. I think you need to hold off Justice League Dark for quite some time. That doesn't need to be a main priority. It needs to be pushed off a bit. Nightwing, same thing as I said about the Batman and the Batgirl situation. Nightwing, more likely needs to be introduced in the Batman film first, and then you do a solo Nightwing movie. Makes the most sense to me. Suicide Squad 2, which they have a director, Gavin O'Connor, and even the most recent rumor came in, I think, today, that Ben Affleck is slated to appear in Suicide Squad 2, and it's his final appearance. If that's true, it sucks. But at the same time, Suicide Squad made a lot of money. Going over here, Suicide Squad, had a $175 million budget. Does not include marketing, just includes the budget. But the film made $746 million. It did make a profit, okay? It did. But it was not received well by critics, and it was not received unanimously. It wasn't unanimously loved by the fans. It was, you know, kind of in the middle for people. Some people loved it. Some people hated it. It was kind of in the middle for some people. So hopefully Suicide Squad 2 can help change the narrative for the Suicide Squad franchise within the DC films, within the universe, right? But we'll see what happens there. But I think it makes sense to do a sequel because the film was profitable. Some people did like it, but you have to be careful. Deathstroke. I think Deathstroke is a wild card for me personally because, yes, he's a very popular character on Arrow. Yes, people freaked out when they saw him at the end of Justice League, but I don't know if making a Deathstroke movie is the right call right now. If he's the villain for the first Batman movie, which was rumored for a very long time, even back when Ben Affleck was directing, which was like forever ago at this point, then yes, then it would make sense to do a Deathstroke movie after he's introduced in the Batman movie, or in this case, a Justice League sequel, which they kind of hinted at would be the villains for the second movie was the Injustice League, Legion of Doom, whatever you want to call it. But yes, if he's introduced officially in another movie, Deathstroke movie makes sense, but as of right now, do not do Deathstroke movie unless he's introduced first. Harley Quinn film, Joker and Harley Quinn film. I think this is where they saw the popularity from Suicide Squad in terms of Harley Quinn's success in the movie. People freaked out and they loved Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn. So instantly like, Harley Quinn solo movie, Gotham City Sirens with her included, Joker and Harley Quinn, Suicide Squad 2. Here's my thing. If you want to do a Joker and Harley Quinn movie, then scrap the Harley Quinn movie, right? And Gotham City Sirens, you can push it off for later. Because I think she's going to appear in Suicide Squad 2. That's not confirmed, but that's a pretty obvious choice. Have her and Joker appear in Suicide Squad 2, and then do the Joker and Harley Quinn movie. That makes the most sense to me, right? So the Harley Quinn solo film, get it out of here. It's not worth it. Just get it out of here. We don't need it, okay? Maybe later, but not right now. No. Justice League sequel. This needs to happen after we have a bunch more movies to really establish this universe. People, yeah, that can be argued. The universe is or is not established. For me, it is established to an extent, but not to the extent of what Warner Brothers wants it to be established. There are people jumping ship. There are people leaving this universe. They don't want nothing to do with it. You need to win those people back by putting out good quality films that are not meddled with studio interference and cutting out things and then putting a ton of more money into reshoots. Warner Brothers needs to learn to, when you have a meeting with a director and a writer for a film, you agree upon it, and then the writer and the director execute, and then you put out the movie. Warner Brothers has not learned that quality yet. They have not learned that you don't fuck up. Like, they don't do it with... I've never heard of Warner Brothers with any of their other films that are not a part of the DC films, where they go in and meddle with shit. Now, maybe they have, and maybe it's not that well known because they're not big films like these comic book movies are. But Warner Brothers, for some reason, for their DC films, for the last couple of films, have just been botching it left and right. So, and it was announced, Wonder Woman had the No Man's Land scene, where she walks into No Man's Land with her outfit for the first time. It's a big moment. She's taking on this army. Kevin Tsujihara, the president of Warner Brothers, wanted that scene cut out of the movie. He wanted it cut. That's how fucking stupid these people are. I hope, I swear, I hope Walter Hamada, the new DC president, is not going to be fucked with. I really hope not. Because this is getting insane. Of course, they did some changing with the executives, but of course, the president of Warner Brothers, oh, of course, he didn't step down. Of course not. He's not the problem. He's a huge part of the problem. He is. He's a huge part of the problem. And last but not least, we have a Man of Steel sequel, okay? My thing is, Man of Steel sequel should have been announced a long time ago. They should have announced that. We already knew he was coming back for Justice League. Stop bullshitting, okay? They should have announced it a long time ago, and it needs to be in the forefront. It needs to be in the forefront. I'm saying if you want to do a Superman movie, it should come out the same year as a Batman movie. Batman in 2020, Superman in 2020. That's all I'm saying. Because people finally saw Superman the way that he is looked at in the comics at the end of Justice League, right? If you want to ride that wave of people going, oh my God, Superman's back and he's actually like the guy in the comics, where the fuck's the movie at? It hasn't officially been announced. It's just been in development hell forever. Just fucking do it. Just make it, right? Also not listed here was, apparently there was rumored a Deadshot movie and a Lobo film. We don't need them. We don't need those. But for what I'm seeing here, there's a couple movies here that need to just go or to be pushed off for a while. And there's other films that need to be pushed to the forefront. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens. I feel like this is just a wait-and-see game. I really hope Comic-Con this year, 2018, Walter Hamada or Jeff Johns, whoever, comes out on stage and gives us, here's what's happening, Aquaman this year, 2019, Shazam, Wonder Woman 2, and then we get a slate for 2020 and 2021. That'd make the most sense. And we get a sense of what they're doing, because they're just throwing up fucking titles of movies on the screen at cons, and that doesn't give us anything. That just says, oh, no, this is happening, this is happening. Give us a definitive slate with dates. That's all I'm asking. So there you have it, guys. That's the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And I'm curious to know what you guys think about all these films in development, what's coming up in the next couple of years for DC. Curious to know your thoughts. Let me know in the comment section below, guys. I'll talk to you guys later.